Now here's Brendan King.
Good evening. Those of you who don't know, I'm single now. I used to have a girlfriend. She said I was too jealous. I used to go on her computer and look at all the conversations he was having with other guys, ex-boyfriends. I wasn't looking for anything too private, just what they looked like, what their names were, where they lived, where they slept at night. But I'm single now. I went on a date the other night with another girl who actually just broke up with her fiance on his birthday. A lot nicer than my girlfriend. But we had a good time. We went to the movies. We went out to the beach, went a long walk on the beach. And then whenever we finally went home up to her apartment, we found a note on her front door written by her ex-fiance. He said that whenever she broke up with her, she didn't just break his heart, she stabbed him in the heart with an icicle so that it would be cold. And then when she kicked him out, she blocked the sun from his life, sending him into a downward spiral, into perpetual darkness. He eventually found shelter. He found shelter in a dumpster behind Denny's, but when Denny's finally grew weary of his misery, they threw him into the gutters for all the rats and all of the roaches to pick off of what was left of a once decent man. And when the rats and roaches didn't want him anymore, he crawled back to her apartment. And then when we went back into her apartment, and when we opened the door to her bedroom, we were met with the stink and rot and sweat that blew out of her bedroom and into our face as we saw that he had hanged himself on her ceiling fan so that we could see exactly what she did to him. And she cried and she screamed, and through her lamentation, I thought I had to say something to console her, so I looked and I said, "Would you rather go back to my place?" The rest of the evening was pretty awkward. I think I'll give it another day before I call her. Maybe send her a text message. But the problem is that it's hard to find women to date in Miami Beach. I have found no women who were already not in love before they got here. All of the girls that I have ever met who are dateable are already in love with a tiny little dog. And every time I go to their apartment on the first date, I open the door and I'm ready to go someplace, and the first thing she always says is, "Can I take the dog? Can we go somewhere where we can take the dog?" "Yeah, the pound." "We'll take her to the zoo. Drop her into the sea lion exhibit and see if she can swim." There she goes. But not fast enough. But seriously though, I love animals. I love animals a lot. Sometimes I even like to go to the pet store and I look through all the cages of all the animals and I try to find the old, wiry, maladjusted kitty. The ones that I always put off to the side because they try to swipe your hand whenever you try to reach too close. I look down at these kitty and I try to help them out. I look at them and I say, "You better behave yourself or you'll be transferred to the shelf." Think about that. One more joke. One more joke. Okay, I have a joke. The other day I went for a bike ride. I went out past Coral Gables, went riding all about an hour and a half. It was a long ride. You see, the thing is that I wasn't just riding, I was going someplace, somewhere special to me. I went out to a farm. They sold the perfect little strawberries. I think that they are the best strawberries I've ever had in my life. And I went out and I bought myself what I could afford, a small box of strawberries that I was going to eat immediately upon going home. And then I rode for another hour and a half to get back home in Florida summer heat. And when I got to the apartment, I turned on the air conditioner and I poured cereal into a punch bowl and I covered it with all the strawberries. And then whenever I walked into the refrigerator to open the refrigerator door, I reached in to grab the milk and lifted it up to find that my roommate had put an IOU for the milk carton that he drank 3 days ago. I thought about that and I thought, why? I think I've had enough. So I walked over, I grabbed the kitchen knife, and I waited outside of his bedroom door, and I waited for him to wake up. I waited and waited, and when he finally woke up and opened up the door, I stuck the blade into his belly and broke it off at the hilt and said, "Got milk?" I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. Was my last joke, so thank you all.
Brendan King!